Going no contact will feel worse. Can't lie to you. Because right where you are now, if you go no contact with a family member, you'll feel worse. Right where you are now, where the relationship is now, is in equilibrium. They get to do whatever the heck they want, and you deal with it. That's not pleasant, but that is a deal, that is a pact, and both of you understand the rules. If you go no contact, the rules change, you're unmoored, there's no sense of safety and sense of place because the rules change. You change them, but the rules and the dynamic changes, and what comes in sometimes to flood that void is guilt. But eventually, the guilt subsides, you work through it, you're kind to yourself, and on the other side of the no contact guilt scenario is peace. That has nothing to do with the deal you're in now with that person.
I'm going to try and choose my words very carefully here because YouTube's got this whole misgendering BS going on. Jeffrey Marsh is a creep. If you guys don't know who Jeffrey Marsh is, I'm going to keep saying the name because if I use the incorrect pronouns, we're going to get in trouble, even though everyone can see what's going on here. Jeffrey Marsh is a creep, and what they are talking about, as far as I can tell, talking to youngsters, because that's really who populates TikTok, to disconnect from family members. Do you remember he had that whole paywall?
Jeffrey was just saying that going no contact will make you feel worse, so he wasn't advocating for it.
No, he was saying in the beginning it will make you feel worse, but you'll be okay in time.
Oh.
Jeffrey Marsh had that whole paywall where people could talk to him in private. As far as I'm aware, Jeffrey Marsh is not a psychologist, not a licensed one anyway.
Your parents screwed up. It's okay to say so. That's why I made a Patreon, so that we could talk about it, so that we could connect in a way that has more privacy, so that we could talk to each other in a way that's more open and stuff that we wouldn't share like in the comments of a video like this. I think you're worthy and valuable, and I wanted to spend more connected time with you, healing together and hearing your deeply inspiring stories.
Not that that really means anything anyway.
Do you know what? That's exactly what I was going to ask. I was going to say, is Jeffrey a trained professional in this field? Because the advice that's being put out is some serious stuff, and if you've got a big following, a lot of people are going to listen to it, and it's also like you're talking as if your way is the correct way. If Jeffrey's a trained professional, cool. However, from my experience, trained professionals are not allowed to give you advice.
Let me ask you from your experience.
Yeah.
Does Jeffrey Marsh look like a trained professional?
No.
Jeffrey Marsh looks like they need a trained professional. They should not be giving advice to people, more than likely children. And this is based on older videos that I'm saying that. We did a whole Jeffrey Marsh video before. As far as I can see, Jeffrey Marsh is a creep that is just trying to get people to go over to their Patreon or whatever website that they've got behind a paywall. And you'll get in trouble for pointing this out. But Jeffrey Marsh will kind of continuously upload as much BS on there as possible. There's a bunch of videos I've got here that we can react to. It's endless, creepy, nonsense BS. Loves to use the word gaslight, even though I would use that word to describe Jeffrey Marsh.
Well, what happens in a life coaching session with me? A life coaching session. Unconditional love and acceptance. It's probably obvious, but I coach celebrities and politicians, and I coach coaches, and I coach therapists.
Huh?
I would
therapists?
love to know what celebrities this clown is coaching. I would love to know what therapist you are coaching.
Probably Dylan Mulvaney.
I'm not well.
Probably, I wouldn't be surprised. This is ridiculous. I mean, first of all, this is a lie. On Today with things that did not happen. Jeffrey Marsh is not coaching anyone. All they are trying to do is funnel your children behind a paywall. That's what I think is going on here. That's what I think is going on. I think they're trying to funnel children behind a paywall to disconnect from their parents and be welcomed into whatever sick cult is going on behind that. Whatever sickness is going on behind that. Why you would want to talk to people in private? What is it that you can't say on TikTok that we can all listen to? That's what I want to know. I'm actually curious.
There's no money in it, though, giving stuff out for free.
And it is a spot to be able to frankly talk with someone who has been through a lot of schniz about how to get through this current schniz that we're in. That's the basic contours. But the second thing that people value about it, that they tell me again and again and again, is that we will talk about misogyny. We will talk about racism if it's pertinent to you. We'll talk about anti-Semitism, queerphobia. We'll talk about broader global forces instead of just, what are you going to do to self-care yourself, right? We're going to talk about the whole picture and what you've been through and what you've gone through and continue to go through. Love you very much.
This is what talking out of your ass looks like. Literally, if that was a phrase in the dictionary, you'd find this jackass's face next to it.
Abusers get very upset when you call out abuse. Makes sense.
Oh.
Gaslighters get upset when you call...
That creep you up?
Yeah, I just, when people do weird things like that, I just... Oh.
Jeffrey is a very, very, very strange individual.
Gaslighters get upset when you call out the gaslighting, that sort of thing. It is possible to have a productive conversation with someone. You have to be able to discern whether there is a kernel or more than a kernel of something in them that could comprehend and could come around to seeing how hurtful their behavior is. But if you ever get, this is just my advice, my take, if you ever get the vibe that there is no kernel, that they are not able to comprehend that their actions are abusive, that they're trying to manipulate or gaslight you or guilt you or whatever, if you think they will not ever be able to comprehend that, step out. Get out, run, find other friends, find other people to be with, and I know it's difficult, but whether it's a family member, whether it's a coworker, whether it's a partner, whether it's someone important to you or an acquaintance, just leave.
I really, really think there's something nefarious going on with this individual. I would not be surprised if we heard some crazy shit come out about them.
When I look at this, because if you look at, because I can't talk without saying, if you look at him, yeah. There's a full beard there. The hair's not that long. Yeah. Right? Even the clothes you can see, it almost looks as if it's a guy who is using people who have mental health issues or people who are transgender, part of LGBTQ or non-binary, and using that as a way of making money. So this to me looks like an actor who literally just puts a bit of orange eyeshadow on. There's no other makeup on but a bit of orange eyeshadow, and it's like he's wearing his manly clothes and he's just like, oh, quickly put some orange on. Puts on this voice and talks and does this stuff and is literally using these people for their money. That's what I'm taking from this.
That's an interesting...
If this is all real, then I'm way off. But I'm also looking at it from another lens. Like, everything that's been going through my head through this is I think, correct terminology here, I think that something deeper is going on outside of what we're all seeing and being exposed to. So, for example, Josiah Mizukami, this guy he's not real. There's no way he is a real man and he's smiling like that and doing all that weird stuff.
About the definitions. Now, I am fully aware that pedophilia has actually gone through an evolution of definition over time. Now, the original Greek and Roman definitions of pedophilia actually lauds and celebrates pedophilia. So it's essentially something like a child lover or you're child friendly. And that is the original definition of pedophilia. The other definitions that you can find, like for example on Google, is actually having a sexual attraction to children. So that is actually not denoting anything negative at all. It's just saying sexual attraction.
That's not denoting anything negative at all, sexual attraction to children?
Absolutely not. So you can look up what sexual means as well.
Can you explain that? Because it is actually extremely harmful.
He seems a bit like a robot. Like he doesn't seem real.
Children to have any kind of sexual acts toward them.
So by definition, that is actually incorrect. And you can actually look up what sexual means, which is so beautiful.
The definition here, it says the definition of sexual is relating to the activity of sex.
Okay.
And that's Cambridge Dictionary.
Wonderful. Okay, relating to the definition of sex. Do you have the definition of sex?
The activity of sex.
Absolutely.
But I mean, again, I think you, and I've seen in some of your other videos, you seem to really, really focus and hone in on like dictionary definitions. I mean,
absolutely.
We can be really real here, and we both know what we're talking about when we talk about sex. You know,
absolutely.
Penetration, masturbation, things of that nature that adults do, not children.
Enjoying food together, you know, having any interaction.
No. Not intimacy, not connection. We're talking about sex here. It's exactly what you're condoning and what you're not condoning.
Okay, so what I'm condoning...
When everyone in the world uses the word pedophilia and we use the word sex, we know exactly what we mean. We don't need to, you know, bring up all these old definitions, because that's not at all what anyone's talking about. You may have found a definition that says that, and I feel like often when you talk about this, you get very vague on purpose, and I would like to get very specific as to what exactly you mean.
Okay, so I have been perfectly specific, and for one thing, your statement is actually false. That all people actually view pedophilia with the same definition.
Well, I'm talking about sex with children. Do you think that's okay?
So what I advocate for is that anyone and everyone of every age and any species can make whatever loving choices they want with whoever wants to make those choices with them, so long as they're harm-free and they have my loving support. And that is God's law universally.
That's pretty fucked up, dude. That's pretty fucked up. Really.
So fucked up in what definition? You mean negative or positive?
Negative. You seem to be focusing on...
What fucking planet did this guy come from? Because it's clearly not Earth.
Just the positive aspects of love.
That's because I am being positive.
So surely you must know how much trauma and horrific things people have to live with who have gone through sexual abuse from a family member, from someone close to them. And I've seen in past videos you say so long as it's consensual. We both know that a 5-year-old can't consent to a sexual
a 5-year-old makes their own choices. And your definition is very different when you actually change the words to abuse. I have never advocated for child abuse or any type of abuse like the abuse of animals in slaughterhouses.
So all the trauma that many people that even I know that an adult, by your framing of this, an adult engaged in the sexual activity with them, the behavioral problems they've got, the trust issues they've got, the crippling self-esteem issues they've got, the depression, the suicidal, just the zero self-worth that came from that kind of sexual activities that was inflicted on them as a child when they could not consent because their brains aren't fully developed. Do you think that's all fine?
Absolutely not. So again, I do not advocate for any harm of anybody or any abuse of any life form at all. So of course, you'd have to contradict my word to actually say that I do.
Explain a situation where that could be a consensual positive experience for that child.
So there's many examples. So for one thing, you'd have to define what you're actually defining as a child. Now, many people in the United States, Okay, 5 years old, absolutely. Well, playing all kinds of things.
I'm just really confused as to why you feel the need to promote these kinds of things, why you think it's worth putting out there. I mean, can I ask, are you a pedophile?
Yes, I am, absolutely.
Have you engaged in sex with a minor?
By different definitions, yes. I've had sex with people that are under 18.
Okay, and definition, would that be a penis inside of one of their orifices?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm too old for this shit.
I'm starting to believe in my head that these people are all put out here by people of higher up to try and just, I don't know, do something or take the piss out of us, or there's something going on, Michael, because there's no way people are actually just like this.
It's an interesting concept that you present. So you're basically saying
I feel like he's acting
he's
to make money.
So he's taken the transgender movement and capitalizing on it, and they're not actually transgender. Do you know, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people do that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people
right.
do that. A lot of people, they're feeding off of you. Like, you can't. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm going to get absolutely grilled for this.
I think that was a good take. I think there's a lot of paid actors out there.
Yeah.
I didn't see it like that, but I see what you're saying. I don't think Josiah was acting. I think
Josiah is a robot and has been put out there.
I mean, the way he was talking seemed like he had no soul.
Yeah.
So the
smirking was too creepy.
You think it's like a big government conspiracy they've been planted to, like,
something higher up than and has more power than us, but there's no way we're really living in a reality like this. There's no way.
I feel you. I hear what you're saying.
And that's what will get me cancelled.
It's not going to get you cancelled.
Because it's like I'm saying, if this is real,
then we're doomed.
No, then it's like I'm going to look bad for judging it.
No, I'm sorry. You put yourself on the internet, we can judge. Jeffrey put himself on the internet.
But it's like I'm saying there's something wrong with Jeffrey.
I'm saying there's something wrong with Jeffrey.
What is it that you think is wrong with Jeffrey?
Jeffrey is talking to young, impressionable people and telling them to disconnect from their families.
Yeah.
And then creating a paywall for them to go and speak to him in private. That's what's wrong with him.
Yeah, he's feeding off of people who are mentally ill.
Yeah, so there is something wrong with it. Yeah, I think that was a good point.
Okay.
I think that was solid. You might be right. Maybe it's Skynet. Maybe the fucking Terminators are here. And they're disguising themselves as mentally ill
I just
people.
don't know anymore, but I don't know if it is social media that's made things go the way they have, but things are really just so weird now, and the stuff you do see on TikTok or any social media platform, I'm just very sad that life has actually gone in the direction it has, because when I was younger, life used to actually just be so different and so fun. And life, not to say it's not fun anymore, because life's what you make it. You expose yourself to what you want, but just the bulk of what we are being exposed to and being controlled by now is not fun.
Yeah, but it's good that you see it that way, because you're aware that this is happening. Even though sometimes, like, I tried to make a point to not be scrolling on my phone. I mean, you're busy as well. I know that neither of us are always scrolling through stuff. I'm on my phone a lot, but it's usually if it's work related or we're trying to do something.
Sometimes I only scroll just to find content for Midnight Rubbish. Other than that, I wouldn't go and scroll on things. Yeah,
because I can understand how a kid could be scrolling and Jeffrey pops up. Oh, what are you saying? Oh, I'm having problems with my mum. Oh, I can talk to him.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be loved and accepted. Get him out of here, man.
It may be time to ditch your friend. And this is always a very difficult decision, so you want to do it with compassion, if you can. But I'll tell you where the tipping point is. It's okay for people to be needy. I love needy people. I'm needy. But when someone consistently tries to manipulate and guilt others into meeting their needs, instead of learning to directly ask for something that will help them fulfill their needs, or for support, or for whatever they need, for whatever they need. You know, when someone uses guilt and manipulation as tools consistently and cannot give them up, that is when it's time to say goodbye.
Stop telling people to leave others behind, you fucking creep.
It seems like Jeffrey just wants everyone to be lonely. Do you know why? Because then lonely people are going to go and spend more money because they're lonely and sad and need someone to talk to.
They're going to talk to.
Yeah.
Parents need to watch what their kids are watching. They really do, especially in this day and age where they are confusing the children. Someone like Jeffrey pops up. You'll come home, little Sarah over there with her blonde hair looking like a girl on Monday. You come home, half her hair's on the floor, suddenly it's blue. She wants you to call her Billy or some shit now. You open the phone, there's Jeffrey.
You are not responsible for everyone else. Take some breaths, take some moments for you. For you. It's okay to let them go.
Do you know, on my normal day-to-day in life, I can't engage in conversation with people like this. Like, I can't even force it. I can't force a smile on my face. I can't be polite. I just don't talk to me. Just don't talk to me because I can't.
Your face when you did that. That killed me. What a creep, man. What an absolute creep. And you said you're not responsible for the people around you. I hate it when people say that. You are. Sometimes you are. Sometimes you are responsible for the people around you. You ever heard the saying, with great power comes great responsibility?
Yeah.
Uncle Ben to Peter Parker, Spider-Man. That's one of the greatest.
Is that where it came from?
Yeah.
Oh.
Put his hand and he was like, with great power comes great responsibility. He was like, well, you're not my dad.
Yeah. You're not my dad.
But that's a great quote, because sometimes you are responsible for people. Like I feel responsible for you sometimes.
Oh.
And I feel responsible for this channel. You should feel responsible for this channel and me as well.
In what sense, please?
That we work together, and that if something goes on, we need to have each other's backs. It's our responsibility to make sure things run smoothly here as a team.
Yep, I feel like you are responsible for me, because sometimes you might say things and then it's going to get me in trouble even though I didn't say it, just because I'm next to you. And sometimes Michael says, we believe this. I say, we who, where? You believe this. Don't bring we into it.
No, but on like a more serious level, there's a lot of people around me that I feel responsible for.
Yeah.
It's good to be responsible for people. It's good to look out for people. I don't think you should go around telling people you're not responsible for anyone. Just think about yourself, care about yourself. That's how fucking narcissists are born. You should be responsible for the people around you. I feel responsible for some of my friends. I feel responsible for Sabi, for my mum, for some of my co-workers, like loads of people around me. It's good to be responsible. Don't listen to Jeffrey's a moron. Jeffrey don't know left from right. Can't even apply makeup properly. What are you saying? Wake up in the morning, put a bit of
just orange eyeshadow, but it's just like the eyes just being coloured in.
You can give him some makeup tips.
I don't do eyeshadow. Mine would probably turn out like that as well.
They told you're very mature for your age, and you need to realize that they were complimenting you into feeling good about not burdening others with your feelings. Please don't be an adult who is still living that pattern. Be immature for your age.
Be immature for your age. Well, there's one more video that we're going to react to, because this one really got on my nerves.
Story time. Violence. Warning. I promised myself that I wouldn't tell this story, but I'm gonna, because we be brave and we speak, and that's what we do. More than once I've been the victim of a group of people. So like I'm wearing a dress and walking down the street, and like a group decides to get together and come after me and do something violent. And one time, I'm going to speak about it in a roundabout way. One time when I lived in Philadelphia, I had pink patent leather coat, like a trench. And that was my favorite thing in the world. Where is she now? And a dark purple sparkle lip and very short hair then, and was on the subway, and a group of teenage boys were in the same subway car. And you know how you step into the car? Am I the only one that like crosses the street when there's a bunch of teenage boys just hanging out? No offense to anybody who may be a teenage boy, but in a group. So I step in and there's this group over there, and didn't take very long. They start calling me names and boobity bop. And I step out early. I was in heels, but I was like, I'm gonna walk, because I'm gonna get out early and go walk to my home. And they come out with me and they follow me. My goal then was to not let them know where I live. So I kind of walked around, and they eventually caught up with me and things. Thank you for supporting trans people, and thank you for teaching young men specifically not to be violent when they see us.
Where was the violence?
Yeah, I don't know where the story just ended.
I'll tell you what that story was. It was just an excuse to attack young men. That's all it was. Let me explain something to anyone that might be confused today. Jeffrey's lying. That never happened. And in case it did happen, and Jeffrey did see a group of young boys, there was no violence. If me and my boys saw Jeffrey walking down the road, we would turn around as well and look, because it's not every day that you see someone that looks like Jeffrey. So yeah, we would look. Am I going to go over it to him? Probably not. Actually, definitely not. I don't want to be anywhere near him. But there was no violence. And let me just explain something else. People like me and people like Sabia are much bigger risk walking down the road. I could tell you, being in this area, I don't walk anywhere. I drive everywhere. And you pretty much drive everywhere as well. Mm-hmm. Women are a much bigger risk than Jeffrey. And yeah, when I see a group of people, when anyone sees a group of people and they're on their own, if you're in a rough neighborhood, you tend to cross the road. This is not a trans thing. This is not exclusive to trans people. And that's not me throwing young men under the bus. Just unfortunately, when you live in dangerous areas, they're usually dangerous because of men. It's not typically women. That's just a fact. But all of us would cross the road. This is not a trans thing. This is not hating trans people. Again, this didn't happen. Jeffrey's lying. But if there are people that are at greater risk walking down the road, it's people that look like me and people that look like Sab. Not Jeffrey. Do you know why? Jeffrey's in America. And in America, people are scared to even say anything against trans people. I don't think Jeffrey lives in the Bronx or in Compton. I think Jeffrey probably lives in a nice little neighborhood where nobody's going to bother them. So that's all I really want to say. It's just more creepy behavior on TikTok. And it seems like an endless stream of BS. Like you just go through Jeffrey's videos and it's the same creepy, weird shit.
Michael's created a Discord for us.
We've created Discord.
Well, Michael's created a Discord for us. You posted about it the other day on our, is it a community? Or?
Yeah. Basically our WhatsApp thing was a bust.
Yeah, the WhatsApp thing wasn't as good because we weren't able to actually talk and communicate with people because WhatsApp's not giving you that privacy of hiding your number. So we've created a Discord now so that anybody who wants to interact with us more, even on a day-to-day, the link's going to be in our description and you'll be able to have a browse in there and see how many different sort of chats there are that we've created.
Yes.
And just get connected with us.
Me and Sabi are the moderators, obviously. So for now, we'll remain the moderators. Although at some point, if it grows to a substantial size, then we'll elect people to do the moderation, people that we trust. But for now, you'll be able to go in there, interact with us. You can have general chit-chat. You can debate the topics. I've broken everything down into sections so you don't get lost. I've left little messages everywhere so people know where they're going. If you've never used Discord before and you want to do it on your phone, you can just go to the App Store or the Google Play Store. Download Discord, Discord, and then we'll send you the Midnight Rubbish link will be in the description. And then just, have a read over the rules. Don't break the rules. Obviously, I am lenient, but nothing that is going to get us in trouble. You can also send us videos there as well because I know a lot of you send them to our emails and we we try to check them as much as possible, but it can get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, you can send us videos that you want us to react to, and you can also just send videos, maybe short ones that you just want to get our quick opinion on that's not worth us actually filming a video on, and then that way, you know, you're still getting to see a bit more.
Yeah, and there might be other stuff in there. You know, if me and Sabi start doing some traveling, we might like film some vlogs. The description will have the Discord link, and we'll be updating it periodically. I mean, right now it's busy because of Christmas, but
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the videos, guys. It does help us out a lot.
Michael promised he would never ever say that one day.
I did promise, but I'm not doing it in a video. So they've already seen the video. This is not interrupting them. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers that stops the video halfway.
But definitely like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, it does help us out.